Hello, and welcome to Narrative. Tonight, I'm exposing a network of Russian interference in our elections, this year's elections, that reaches far deeper than we initially realized. I've been investigating Russian interference in our politics and elections for 8 years. In 2016, I was among the first journalists to warn about the Trump campaign's ties to Russia, the Kremlin's efforts to undermine our democracy using social media, and Rudy Giuliani's dealings with Russian-linked figures. The Senate Intelligence Committee later confirmed many of my allegations in its report known as Volume 5. What I'm about to reveal tonight builds on that track record. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will shake your faith in the very people elected to protect our democracy. And as we head into a crucial election that could determine the fate of our republic, understanding these connections and their consequences is more important than ever. This is Alexander Smirnov, a 43-year-old Russian-Israeli who lives in Vegas. He was the star witness for the GOP's Hunter Biden investigation, and he's been exposed as a Russian asset. Prosecutors have proven that Smirnov, a former FBI informant, lied about his claims that both Hunter and Joe Biden received $5 million bribes each to help Burisma, the Ukrainian energy company, go public. This lie is at the heart of the GOP's impeachment narrative against President Biden. Prosecutors now believe Smirnov was a Russian asset with deep ties to Russian intelligence. Let that sink in. The GOP is trying to remove a president of the United States from office based on false information from a known Russian asset. Smirnov was not just a Russian asset in the past, by the way. He has current and existing ties to Russian intelligence. And this exposes another serious vulnerability. The FBI's confidential informant program has been exploited to launder Russian disinformation designed to sway our elections. We're also able to reveal tonight parts of the foreign network of operatives that Smirnov was coordinating with. This includes the Ukrainian treason investigation I reported on a few weeks ago. Ukrainian lawmakers Andrei Derkach and Alexander Dubinsky were arrested for their role in a Kremlin-backed scheme to damage Joe Biden. The GRU paid those lawmakers millions of dollars to spread disinformation against Biden, centered around Hunter Biden's involvement with Burisma. That's the same Russian playbook, corrupting politicians with discredited information, then weaponizing them against the United States. These revelations also raise very serious questions about Speaker Mike Johnson, who has been linked to people inside Putin's inner circle with ties to Russian intelligence agencies. The stakes are incredibly high at the moment. Ukrainian forces are dangerously low on artillery ammunition, leaving them vulnerable to Russian aggression. This is directly because Speaker Mike Johnson is refusing to bring a vote that would provide enough military aid to the Ukrainians so they could fight back against Putin's forces. The Speaker's connections to the Kremlin do run deep. He maintained contacts with figures like Konstantin Nikolaev, who has top-secret FSB clearance, and funded the Maria Butina NRA operation. Additionally, Johnson is linked to the powerful Alexander Voloshin, a former chief of staff to both Putin and Yeltsin. This raises serious questions about whether Johnson's actions are driven by loyalty to America or to a foreign power that's seeking to undermine our democracy. Speaker Johnson's ties don't exist in a vacuum, of course. Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani each have their own disturbing connections to Russian intelligence. With Trump, we see it in the GRU's hack of the DNC and the weaponizing of stolen information by Roger Stone. Not to mention Paul Manafort and Konstantin Kilimnik and the role they played in electing Trump in 2016. With Giuliani, his dealings with Andrei Derkach, Lev Parnas, Pavel Fuchs, and Igor Furman are deeply troubling. This history of aligning with those seeking to weaken our nation from within explains why the Republican Party continues to promote the same discredited Biden narrative that originated with Russian-linked actors. And tonight we can add yet another bombshell. Alexander Smirnov wasn't the only confidential human source of the FBI to be providing Russian propaganda, false information, and other material to the FBI and members of the Trump administration and the GOP. An FBI whistleblower has claimed that his confidential informants that he developed used the FBI to launder and amplify disinformation intended to damage our elections. It